Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name's Dr. Siyana.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and I'm Dr. Amina. We are two GPs who work as mental health and well-being coaches.
We are also mums, and we know what it's like to be juggling work with our home lives.
Absolutely. But through this podcast, we are on a mission to share our learning insights, experience, and knowledge, both medical and Islamic.
That's right. So we are keen through this podcast to support other women, women possibly just like us, through calming conversations by connecting with our Creator. And so in typical GP style, we're hoping also to deliver this in just 10 minutes. So hold on to your hats. Dr. Amina, what is coming up for you today?
Well, subhanAllah, today's session was just really, I want to say mind-blowing. We had so many takeaways, didn't we? And I guess if we had to pick one, I'd pick verse number 62 from Surah Anfal, which is Surah number 8. And subhanAllah, we haven't started our timer today, but we will try and keep this to just 10 minutes.
I'm going to time you now.
So, don't you feel uncomfortable when you feel like the GP has got his eye on the clock, right?
Indeed, yeah, no, it's
right.
like, and it's not any easier when you're on the other side either, because you know that the minute your 10 minutes are over, someone else needs to be taken care of. But
Yes.
What I wanted to just add actually is that what you're referring to in terms of our session was that you and I are both on a particular program right now, aren't we? The program where we're hoping, well, we're trying to incorporate and practice what we preach, which is we're trying to read the Quran in English every single day. And the program's called the Quran Quest. If you want to know more, we'll include some information in the show notes. But back to you, Dr. Amina.
Yeah, so this ayah, I'll read the translation, and we've been following Sahih International, ayah number 62. But if they intend to deceive you, then sufficient for you is Allah. It is He who supported you with His help and with the believers. SubhanAllah. This really captured my attention, because a lot of the time when I'm talking to sisters, they're dealing with the feeling of being hurt. And there's a lot of resentment there. And when you dive into what's causing the hurt, depending on what's happened with the sister, depending on the circumstance, the people that's been involved, there's a lot of feelings of being deceived. They feel betrayed. And that's what came up today, wasn't it? The topic of being betrayed, of worrying about being deceived, being hurt, subhanAllah. And of course, as we've discussed, Dr. Siyana, this surah is all about the Battle of Badr, isn't it?
So yes, it was actually about something completely different, and which was war and how to deal with the consequences of war when there's war booty. But we never really expected something to be so relatable and to come out of it in the end here.
Yeah, something that we could take away and we could apply practically to our own lives and our own difficulty. So, I want to share, and I just have to be mindful of time, what it was from this ayah that we can really take away and apply to our personal situations. First of all, just to recognize that if people do have that intention to deceive you, and if that's what you're worried about, what is the mindset that you can instill within yourself to help you? Allah says, Hasbi Allah, that Allah is sufficient for you. Allah is And we struggle with the term sufficient, don't we, Dr. Siyana? Because our book was
Yes.
Hasbi Allah. But sufficient is not just enough, it's more than enough. Is that Allah is all that you could need. And if you remember, it doesn't matter who deceives you, betrays you, lies to you, is dishonest to you. At the end of the day, if you can instill in your heart and mind that Allah is enough for you, Allah is more than enough for you, Allah is all that you need, you're going to find peace with that belief, with that understanding, with that knowledge, right? Isn't that right, Dr. Siyana?
That's it. I mean, I think sometimes we talked at, specifically about a case where, and this is typical nowadays, where a woman has been two-timed by her husband, basically, right? And he completely betrayed her trust, and she was having a difficult time dealing with that, in terms of coping with the difficult feelings and the emotions that were constantly arising. How do you go back to normality? How do you recover from such a situation? And yet those situations are just far too common, aren't they, in our society nowadays? And people do, I have to say, mashallah, that people do manage to put those feelings aside and move on with their lives. But in order to get that full layer of healing and full layer of recovery and full layer of functionality back into your lives, this is where the Quran sort of comes in terms of actually, why do we exist? Why is everything the way it is? Who are we actually serving? We're not serving these emotions that don't serve us. We're certainly not serving the people who put us in that situation in the first place. Our focus needs to be rock solid only on Allah.
That's right, subhanAllah. And then the ayah continued to say, this is the translation, it is He who supported you with His help. And that really captivated me. I was looking at the word in Arabic, which is هو الذي أيدك. And I was intrigued by this word. What does this word mean? Because I thought it was the Nasr word, right? The support, the help. But before binasrihi, it was this word, ayyadaka. And that, got me quickly scrambling through my dictionaries, subhanAllah. And I use the Ma'ani dictionary, which is found online. And I came up with this, Dr. Siyana. Have a listen to this.
Tell me.
The verb ayyada, right? I think I'm pronouncing it correctly, is be in favor of, be a lining to something, cover the back of something, give support or countenance to make or become solid, give support or encouragement to somebody, progress or help something to develop, speak publicly in favor of something, to give support or approval to give support or certainty to help someone to overcome a trouble, to make a relationship firm and strong, be present or take part in something, stand up for. SubhanAllah. I mean, Allah is telling us in this ayah, He is the one who does all of this.
In one word.
in just that one word,
yeah.
ayyadaka. And so ayyada means all those things, encapsulates all those meanings. And just think, Dr. Siyana, to have someone that's got your back. In that case that we were talking about of this, patient of mine coming to me, being diagnosed with, a sexually transmitted infection and, questioning where it came from when she is in a marriage, you know, your life feels like it's going to collapse. It is collapsing around you. Everything you trusted, everything you knew, just is breaking down around you. And you thought you had that approval. You thought you had that certainty of your partner. And here Allah is saying He is the one to give support or approval or certainty. That's who we look to. And I just found it so comforting. I just,
yeah.
But I think that is our 10 minutes up. But I just would encourage you all to look at the ayah, verse 62 of Surah Anfal, and just let us know what you think. And if there is something that you are going through, that you feel really deceived or betrayed, you feel like the trust is gone, and you just need somebody to, you know, chat to work things through and to find your feet, you know, first of all, turn to Allah and turn to the words of Allah. And if you need any further help or support or guidance in that, then of course, Dr. Siyana and I are here. You can contact us via email at amanarevolution@gmail.com. That's Amana, AMANA, revolution@gmail.com. And we will try our best to slot you in, inshallah.
Inshallah. I will put some information into the show notes. In the meantime, we hope that nothing we've said has caused any triggering thoughts, and pray that you will find peace and contentment in your day and in your lives, especially with Allah by our sides.
Absolutely.
So, without much ado, I think you're right, our 10 minutes is now up. And may Allah accept this from us. If there's anything wrong that have been said, forgive us. If there's anything good that's come out of it, you know where that comes from. It's from Allah.
It's from Allah.
It's from Allah. So we will wish you a good day, and until we speak again.
Yes, until next time, stay calm and remember your Creator. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi